Have you ever noticed that the moment you decide to protect your peace and energy, people start getting offended? It's as if your need for solitude, reflection, or simply wanting some quiet time is somehow a personal attack on them. But here's the truth. It's not about you at all. They're offended because they no longer have the same access to your energy, your attention, and your time. People get used to you always being available, always listening, always helping, always saying, yes. And when you finally decide to say no or draw a line to protect your own well-being, it shatters their expectations. The reality is, your boundaries disrupt their comfort zone. They're not upset because you've changed. They're upset because they can no longer use your energy as they please. You see, as a chosen one, your energy is special. It's powerful, magnetic, and healing. People are naturally drawn to you, and they often feel entitled to your presence because it makes them feel better about themselves. But the moment you decide to take that energy back, to preserve it for your own growth and healing, they feel a void. They feel lost, confused, and even threatened. Why? Because your presence gave them validation, comfort, and even a sense of control. And when that's gone, they're left to face their own insecurities, fears, and emptiness. This is why they react so strongly when you choose solitude over their company. It forces them to reflect on themselves, and not everyone is ready for that kind of self-awareness. When you decide to prioritize your own peace, they may label you as selfish, distant, or even arrogant. But that's just their ego trying to manipulate you back into a position of availability. It's not about who you are, but about what they no longer have. This is why they're offended, because they can no longer drain your energy at will. You're not here to please everyone. You're not here to constantly accommodate others at the expense of your own well-being. You're here to grow, to heal, and to fulfill your purpose. And sometimes that requires solitude. Sometimes that requires saying no without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. As a chosen one, you're meant to walk a unique path, one that not everyone will understand or appreciate, and that's perfectly fine. You weren't called to fit in. You were called to stand out, to rise above, and to inspire others to do the same. Your boundaries are a reflection of your self-respect, self-awareness, and self-love. They are not walls to keep people out, but gates to protect your energy and peace. When people react negatively to your boundaries, it's because they benefited from your lack of them. But remember, it's not your responsibility to make others comfortable at the expense of your own discomfort. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your time, energy, or life. Your peace is sacred. Your energy is precious. Protect it fiercely, unapologetically, and confidently. If you don't set boundaries, the cost is high. You risk emotional exhaustion, spiritual depletion, and losing your purpose. As a chosen one, your energy is not like everyone else's. It's powerful, magnetic, and deeply healing. People are naturally drawn to you because they feel uplifted, comforted, and validated by your presence. But if you constantly give without replenishing, you'll end up drained, resentful, and disconnected from your own purpose. Without boundaries, you become vulnerable to emotional vampires, those who take your energy without giving anything in return. These people thrive on your empathy, your kindness, and your willingness to always be there for them. They see your light, but don't respect your need to recharge. They expect you to listen to their problems, support them through their struggles, and comfort them in their pain, without considering your own needs. If you don't draw the line, you'll end up carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. The price of people-pleasing is steep. It leads to burnout, anxiety, and even depression. You end up living for others, neglecting your own needs, dreams, and desires. You lose yourself in the process of trying to make everyone happy. But no matter how much you give, it will never be enough for those who are used to taking. They'll keep demanding more, expecting you to be constantly available, and resenting you the moment you set a boundary. If you don't protect your energy, you'll find yourself feeling unappreciated, undervalued, and even manipulated. People will take advantage of your kindness, mistaking it for weakness. They'll push your boundaries, guilt-trip you into saying yes, and blame you for their own shortcomings. But it's not your job to fix, heal, or save anyone. Your purpose is to inspire, to uplift, and to lead by example, not to sacrifice your own well-being for others. When you don't set boundaries, you allow others to dictate your life. You let them decide how you should feel, how you should spend your time, and even who you should be. You end up living a life that doesn't reflect your true self, your values, or your purpose. You lose your voice, your power, and your identity. But the moment you start setting boundaries, you reclaim your life. You take back your power, your peace, and your purpose. Boundaries are not about keeping people out, but about defining who you are and what you stand for. They are about protecting your energy, your time, and your well-being. They are about respecting yourself enough to say no without feeling guilty, ashamed, or obligated to explain. If you don't set boundaries, you risk losing yourself in the noise and chaos of other people's expectations, opinions, and demands. But if you do, you create a space of peace, purpose, and power where you can grow, heal, and fulfill your destiny as a chosen one. People are offended by your boundaries because they are used to having constant access to you. They are used to your energy, your attention, and your time. When you decide to pull back and protect your peace, it disrupts their comfort zone. It challenges their sense of control, entitlement, and familiarity. They feel rejected, abandoned, and even threatened. But their reaction has nothing to do with who you are and everything to do with who they are. You see, boundaries reflect self-respect, self-awareness, and self-love. They show that you value your peace, your energy, and your well-being. But not everyone is ready to see you value yourself because they benefited from your lack of boundaries. They were comfortable with you always being available, always accommodating, and always prioritizing their needs over yours. Your boundaries force them to confront their own insecurities, dependencies, and emotional immaturity. When you set boundaries, people project their fears onto you. They accuse you of being selfish, distant, or even arrogant because they don't understand the power of solitude. They don't understand that as a chosen one, your energy is sacred, powerful, and meant to be preserved for your purpose. They take your need for peace as a personal rejection because they were using your presence to validate themselves. Their offense is not about you changing, but about them losing the privilege of accessing your energy whenever they want. It's about them realizing that they can no longer use your light to escape their own darkness. And that realization forces them to look within, which can be uncomfortable, scary, and even painful. This is why they're offended, because your boundaries are a mirror reflecting their own insecurities, fears, and unresolved issues. Your boundaries don't make you selfish. They make you strong. They make you wise, and most importantly, they make you free. Solitude is not loneliness. It's a sacred space where chosen ones reconnect with their higher purpose, recharge their energy, and gain clarity on their path. As a chosen one, your journey is unique. It requires introspection, reflection, and quiet moments of self-discovery. This is why you naturally feel the need to retreat, to be alone, to disconnect from the noise of the world. But society doesn't understand this. They label solitude as isolation, withdrawal, or even arrogance. They don't see the depth of your spiritual journey or the power that lies in your silence. The truth is, solitude is where you find your strength. It's where you heal, where you grow, and where you receive divine guidance. In solitude, you hear the voice of your intuition more clearly. You connect with your higher self and align with your purpose. This is why you feel at peace when you're alone, because you're in tune with your soul's calling. But this can be threatening to people who rely on external validation. They don't understand how you can be content without constant social interaction. They don't understand how you find fulfillment within yourself. Your solitude challenges their dependency on others for happiness. It makes them question their own need for approval and attention. This is why they often accuse you of being distant, aloof, or too quiet. It's not because you're antisocial, but because they don't understand your need for inner peace. As a chosen one, you don't fear being alone because you're never truly alone. You are connected to a higher power, to the universe, and to your own soul. This connection is what guides you, protects you, and empowers you. But to maintain this connection, you need solitude. You need time to meditate, to reflect, and to listen to the whispers of your soul. You need space to process your emotions, to heal from past wounds, and to release the energy you've absorbed from others. Solitude is not a luxury. It's a necessity for your spiritual growth. It's where you recharge your energy, renew your spirit, and realign with your purpose. People don't understand this because they are trapped in the noise of the world. They are consumed by distractions, social validation, and superficial connections. They can't fathom the peace you find in silence because they are afraid of facing their own thoughts. Your need for solitude makes them uncomfortable because it forces them to reflect on their own inability to be alone. It challenges their dependency on external validation, entertainment, and approval. This is why they take offense when you choose solitude over socializing. It's not about you rejecting them, but about them feeling insecure without your presence. They depended on you to feel good about themselves, and when you withdraw, they are left to face their own emptiness. But remember, you are not responsible for their insecurities. You are not obligated to sacrifice your peace to make them comfortable. Your solitude is your power, your sanctuary, and your space for growth. Protect it unapologetically. One of the biggest misconceptions about boundaries is that they are a form of rejection. People often take it personally when you say no, assuming that you don't care about them or that you're pushing them away. But boundaries are not about rejecting people. They are about protecting your peace. As a chosen one, your energy is sacred and you must preserve it to fulfill your purpose. This means setting limits on how much you give, how often you're available, and who gets access to your time and energy. But not everyone understands this. They feel entitled to your presence, your attention, and your support. They believe that because you were always there for them before, you should always be there in the future. And when you finally decide to set a boundary, they feel betrayed, hurt, and even offended. They don't see that your boundaries are an act of self-love and self-respect. They don't see that you're simply protecting your own well-being. The problem is people often confuse availability with affection. They believe that if you truly care about them, you'll always be available for them, no matter what. But love doesn't mean sacrificing yourself. It doesn't mean giving until you're exhausted, drained, and resentful. It doesn't mean neglecting your own needs to satisfy others. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and balance, and this includes respecting each other's boundaries. When you set boundaries, it challenges their expectations. It forces them to see you as a person with your own needs, desires, and limitations. It disrupts the dynamic they were comfortable with, the dynamic where you were always there, always giving, and always saying yes. This is why they feel rejected, because they were attached to the version of you that didn't have boundaries. They were attached to the idea of always having access to you. But you are not obligated to fulfill their expectations. You are not responsible for their emotional reactions. If they feel rejected because you're setting healthy boundaries, that's a reflection of their own insecurities, dependencies, and emotional immaturity. It's not about you, it's about them. But their discomfort is not your burden to carry. The truth is, boundaries are not about rejection, but about self-preservation. They are about protecting your energy, your peace, and your purpose. They are about ensuring that you have enough space to grow, heal, and thrive. As a chosen one, you need these boundaries to maintain your spiritual connection, your emotional balance, and your mental clarity. You need them to protect your light, your energy, and your purpose. People who truly care about you will understand your need for boundaries. They will respect your space, your solitude, and your need for self-care. They will support your growth, even if it means giving you the space to recharge. But those who are offended by your boundaries are revealing their true intentions. They are showing that they were more interested in what they could get from you than in who you truly are. They were more attached to your availability than to your well-being. Your boundaries are not about keeping people out, but about defining who you are and what you stand for. They are about creating a safe space where you can be yourself without pressure, guilt, or obligation. They are about protecting your energy from emotional vampires, manipulators, and people who don't respect your worth. When you set boundaries, you are not rejecting people. You are rejecting their expectations, their entitlement, and their control over your life. It's okay if people misunderstand your boundaries. It's okay if they get offended, disappointed, or even angry. It's okay if they leave because they can't accept the new version of you, the version that values yourself enough to say no. Let them go. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to live authentically, to grow spiritually, and to fulfill your purpose. Your boundaries are an act of self-love. They are a declaration of your worth, your power, and your purpose. They are a reminder that you are enough, even when you're not available. They are a statement that your peace matters, your energy is precious, and your purpose is sacred. Embrace your boundaries without apology, without guilt, and without fear. You owe it to yourself to protect your light. As a chosen one, your path is different. You see the world differently, think differently, and live by a set of principles that most people don't understand. You are guided by a higher purpose, driven by a deeper meaning, and connected to a spiritual truth that is beyond the ordinary. This is why you are often misunderstood. People can't comprehend why you don't conform to societal norms, why you don't chase material success, or why you don't seek validation from others. They can't understand your need for solitude, your quest for knowledge, and your desire for spiritual growth. To the outside world, you seem distant, detached, and even aloof. They see your calmness as indifference, your silence as arrogance, and your solitude as rejection. They don't realize that you are simply protecting your peace, preserving your energy, and maintaining your spiritual alignment. They don't see the depth of your thoughts, the intensity of your emotions, or the complexity of your journey. They only see the surface, and they judge you based on their limited perspective. This misunderstanding often leads to rejection, criticism, and even resentment. People label you as different, weird, or too serious because you don't fit into their narrow definition of normal. They try to change you, to mold you into their idea of who you should be. But you were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out, to challenge the status quo, and to inspire change. Your presence makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to question their own choices, beliefs, and values. It challenges their conformity, their mediocrity, and their superficiality. It shines a light on the emptiness of their pursuits, the shallowness of their relationships, and the illusions of their identity. This is why they resist your truth, criticize your choices, and reject your authenticity. It's not about you, it's about them. You remind them of the path they chose not to take, the dreams they gave up on, and the truth they are too afraid to face. You are a living reflection of what they could be if they had the courage to break free from society's expectations. This is why they misunderstand you, because they don't have the awareness to see beyond their own limitations. They project their fears, insecurities, and frustrations onto you because they can't handle their own reflection. But their misunderstanding is not your burden to carry. It's not your job to explain yourself, to prove your worth, or to justify your choices. You don't owe anyone an explanation for being true to yourself. You don't need to dim your light to make others comfortable. You are here to be authentic, to be bold, and to be unapologetically you. Your journey is yours alone. Not everyone is meant to understand it, appreciate it, or support it, but that's okay. The right people will resonate with your truth, align with your energy, and walk beside you on this path. They will understand your silence, respect your boundaries, and celebrate your growth. They will see the beauty in your solitude, the wisdom in your words, and the power in your presence. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. You are not here to fit into their world. You are here to create your own. Embrace your uniqueness, honor your journey, and trust your purpose. Those who are meant to walk with you will find you. Those who are not will fall away. And that is perfectly okay. Your energy is sacred. As a chosen one, your energy is powerful, magnetic, and transformative. It has the ability to heal, inspire, and uplift those around you. But because of its power, it also attracts negative energies, emotional vampires, and toxic people who seek to drain you. This is why it is crucial to protect your energy with clear, firm, and unapologetic boundaries. People are naturally drawn to your light. They feel better in your presence, more hopeful, more inspired, and more at peace. But not everyone respects the source of that light. Some people take advantage of your kindness, manipulate your empathy, and exploit your generosity. They expect you to always be there, to always listen, and to always help, without considering your own needs, feelings, or well-being. If you don't protect your energy, you risk emotional exhaustion, spiritual burnout, and even physical illness. You become overwhelmed by other people's emotions, burdened by their problems, and drained by their negativity. You lose your peace, your clarity, and your purpose. You become a shadow of yourself, depleted, resentful, and disconnected from your own spirit. Protecting your energy doesn't mean isolating yourself or shutting people out. It means setting healthy boundaries that allow you to give without losing yourself. It means choosing who gets access to your time, attention, and emotions. It means saying no without feeling guilty, without explaining, and without apologizing. It means prioritizing your well-being, your peace, and your purpose. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone is worthy of your light. And that's okay. It's not your job to save everyone, heal everyone, or carry everyone's burdens. You are not responsible for their happiness, their choices, or their pain. Your purpose is to inspire, to lead, and to shine, not to sacrifice yourself for others. Your energy is a gift. Protect it with firm boundaries, with self-love, and with wisdom. Trust your intuition, follow your heart, and prioritize your peace. Remember, the more you protect your energy, the more powerful you become. Navigating relationships as a chosen one is challenging. You are different, unique, and often misunderstood. Not everyone can handle your depth, your truth, or your intensity. Some people will be inspired by your light, while others will be intimidated by it. Some will appreciate your wisdom, while others will resent it. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk with you on this journey. The key is to surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries, honor your journey, and support your growth. People who uplift you, inspire you, and encourage you to be your authentic self. These are the souls who resonate with your energy, align with your purpose, and walk beside you with love, trust, and respect. But not everyone will understand your need for solitude, your quest for growth, or your spiritual path. Some people will label you as distant, arrogant, or selfish because they don't understand your journey. Others will try to change you, to conform you to their expectations, or to control your choices. These are not your people. You don't have to explain yourself, justify your choices, or prove your worth to anyone. You are allowed to walk away from toxic relationships, from manipulative people, and from environments that drain your energy. You are allowed to choose peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and love over fear. Your journey is sacred. Protect it fiercely. Surround yourself with people who see your light, respect your truth, and support your growth. Let go of those who don't. Walk your path with courage, confidence, and love, and trust that the right people will find you. Your journey as a chosen one is unique, powerful, and sacred. It requires solitude, boundaries, and unwavering self-love. Not everyone will understand your path, your choices, or your truth, but that's okay. You are not here to fit in. You are here to rise, to lead, and to inspire. Embrace your power, protect your energy, and walk your path unapologetically. You are enough just as you are, and your journey is just beginning.